Let's get over here and start talking. Joining us here at the desk, of course, Daniel Gotera. Hey,
Hello
Daniel.
there.
And Matt Musil.
Hey, man.
So, which player do you think is in store for a big Game 4?
Well, I think if Austin Rivers had played Game 1, the Rockets would be up 2-1 in this series. I think he adds their rotations that makes it more balanced team. When he's in there, he gives another threat from the outside, other than having to rely on a guy like Iman Shumpert to have a big game like he did Game 3, which is great. But I think Austin Rivers has been huge late in the season and in the playoffs so far. I think he's set for a big Game 4.
Yeah, his defense as well
That
was
too.
really good on Steph
Yep.
Curry.
And the moment is never too big for him.
That's right.
I love that about Austin. I think it's going to be Chris Paul. Chris was so much more assertive in Game 3 on both ends of the court. Man, that pick and roll offense when he was running it was so effective. And remember how last year he was so effective against the Warriors in that series before he got hurt? I'm not saying he's going to go all shimmy shake, but I think he's going to be a difference maker tomorrow night. He's going to be on fire tomorrow night.
I think
Okay, top that.
I can't. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to say P.J. Tucker because of what he brought in Game 3. I think perhaps more scoring may help, but listen, he brought that energy. He brought everything the Rockets needed. So, which Rocket again do you expect to come through? Keep voting. Now, for all of you watching on Saturday night and watching tonight, did you have a reaction like Chinadu did after Game 3?
Oh, hey, Golden State. I didn't see y'all there. How about that Game 3? I told y'all was going to lose, okay? The only W you will ever get in Houston is going to be on a Whataburger Cup. See y'all Game 4. Let's go Rockets.
Whataburger. All right, speaking of food, the recipe to beat these Warriors, what's the main ingredient the Rockets need on Monday?
Okay, for me, I'm going to go what worked in Game 3. I'm going to go with rebounding the basketball. All right, that's what made them so successful towards the end of the season, that 20-3 run to close things out. They were rebounding better, getting after the glass, defensive, offensive, being physical on that facet of the game. It worked in Game 3. It's worked so far. They need to do it again behind Clint Capella and P.J. Tucker.
No
All
doubt.
right, well, let me see my recipe book. And I'm going to go, you're going to have a heap of Harden. He's going to have to score at least 40, I think, the rest of this series. I'm going to go with a scoopful
Oh, more than one.
of Paul. And then
Okay.
I'm going to garnish
Oh, my gosh.
with tenacity.
Chef
That was
Musil.
the difference.
Off the
That
top.
was the difference in Game 3, the tenacity the Rockets showed.
Yeah, I'm much like you guys. I'm going to just say, I'm going to use one word, and I'm going to call it force. It was that will, that force, and that is really the thing about all the little things. Rebounding, loose balls, turnovers. So, yeah, I'm going to go force because I think it goes in line with the rebounding and what both of you were saying. Now, that's what the Rockets need to do. What about the Warriors? Well, here's Steve Kerr answering that question on what adjustments his team needs to make.
I think the biggest adjustment is always the emotional one. The fight, the competitive spirit. That's the first adjustment that we have to make. That's the adjustment they made last night. They fought harder, and the rebounding battle completely flipped from games 2 to 3. And so, what's the adjustment? Well, we got to box out.
Being it's the day after now, day after Star Wars Day, May 4th, we should also recognize May 5th. It's Revenge of the 5th, Revenge of the Sith. So with the Warriors being the bad guys.
That wasn't a great movie, but all right, we'll go ahead.
With the Warriors being the bad guys, what worries us most about Golden State in Game 4?
Well, one, you have to always think about Kevin Durant. 46 points. The guy's just so effortless on the offensive side. The thing that concerns me is guys off the bench. They did not play well in Game 3. Their slogan is strength in numbers. When you see guys like Livingston getting his mid-range game going, as we saw in Games 1 and 2, I think that poses problems. It makes them so much more dangerous.
My 3 biggest concerns, KD, then there's KD. Now my 4th concern is Steph Curry. If he goes off, if he gets in a rhythm, Mike D'Antoni said, look, if he gets in a rhythm, he's so dangerous, we cannot let Steph get into a rhythm. That's key.
Yeah, when Steph Curry does not have good games, he usually bounces back with a really good game. So that's what I'm going to say. I think what worries me most about this Golden State team in Game 4 is the Curry factor and what kind of numbers he will put up. So, Game 4 again is Monday night at Toyota Center. We're all getting ready for what could be a series that's tied at 2 games apiece.